thinking he was sick or that he was in trouble, but they had to call me to inform me that there was a student in his classroom who was teaching some kids something that he had observed, my son being one of them, my kindergartner being one of them. And what he was teaching them was to snort water and act drunk. And so my son, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. My son did that. And I was like, what if this kid observed this at home? What if he brought drugs to school and was like, hey guys, I see this at home. Let me show you how to do it. And you can try it. And what if that phone call would have been like, hey, your son is headed to the emergency room right now because in his kindergarten classroom, his buddy told him to snort something. And thought it was funny, so scary to think that I have to talk to my 6-year-old about drugs.
Some of you may not have read this in your history books, but I grew up in the 1980s in the Bronx, the middle of the crack epidemic. I'm talking walking to school, crack vials on the floor. Yeah, real life. It's a real thing. Back then, I would walk back from school. It was like 2 or 3 blocks. My parents worked, so I would have to walk back to school. I think I walked to school in 1st or 2nd grade, if my memory serves right. Kindergarten, I didn't. But even then, I remember conversations about drugs. Never take them from anyone. Like, never grab anything from anybody. Never touch any needles that are on the ground. That was a thing. I think it was maybe a old wives' tale or whatever, like a myth, but it was a conversation. I remember it very vividly. But even in those conversations, never once, don't snort anything into your nose from a friend that may give it to you, ever came up. Ever. That story is insane. Also, a testimony as to why we are homeschooling our kids. I saw a couple comments in there. Oh, we're not worried about kids and socializing and homeschooling. We're worried about them being taught properly. Listen, let me give you a little bit of advice here. It is not rocket science to learn how to teach someone. If you're working in a corporate environment now, you're very likely able to teach your child. You may not have the patience, but you can learn it. If you're capable of running through spreadsheets or managing millions of dollars in sales, I'm pretty sure you can teach a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old basic reading and math, and then work on the curriculum development along the way. There's tons of books on this stuff. I'm sure you can read. At least I hope so. Depending on the generation that you actually grew up. Because if you're in public school right now, some kids don't even have a grade school reading level, which is absolutely terrifying for high school graduates. My wife managed millions of dollars in sales for a tech company. She's gonna homeschool the kids. They're doing great. Homeschool your kids. God bless. Have a great day.